The Great Library of Alexandria. Welcome to a journey back through the mists of time. Before you close your eyes, let go of the modern world. Let the sounds of the present fade away like a distant echo. You are no longer in your room. You are no longer bound by the worries of today. You are safe. You are calm. And you are about to witness one of the greatest wonders the world has ever known. Close your eyes and imagine the year is 255 before the Common Era. You are standing on the deck of a wooden ship, slowly gliding into the harbor of Alexandria, Egypt. The Mediterranean Sea is a deep, tranquil sapphire beneath the light of a rising moon. The air is warm, carrying the scent of salt water, cedar wood, and the faint, sweet aroma of Egyptian jasmine blowing from the shore. The ship moves with a gentle, rhythmic rocking. Creak, sway, creak. The sound of the water lapping against the hull is a soft lullaby, a constant reminder of the ocean's vast, quiet power. As the ship nears the great lighthouse, the Pharos, you see its golden light casting a long, shimmering path across the waves. It is a beacon of peace, guiding travelers from all corners of the earth to this city of dreams. You step off the ship and onto the cool, white marble of the docks. The city is quiet now. The bustling markets have long since closed, leaving only the soft glow of oil lamps flickering in the windows. Your destination lies ahead, the Great Library. It is the heart of the world's knowledge, a place where the air itself feels heavy with the wisdom of 1,000 years. As you walk through the wide, silent streets, your footsteps make a soft, rhythmic sound on the stone. Thud, thud, thud. The moonlight turns the limestone buildings into silver monuments. You reach the massive bronze doors of the library. They are heavy, ancient, and silent. As you push them open, a wave of coolness washes over you, carrying a scent that is unique to this place. The dry, earthy smell of papyrus, the sweetness of beeswax candles, and the faint dust of history. You are now in the great hall. The ceiling is so high it is lost in the shadows, supported by rows of magnificent Corinthian columns. Everywhere you look, there are shelves, thousands upon thousands of wooden pigeonholes, each one filled with scrolls of papyrus and parchment. These are the thoughts of the greatest minds to ever live. Philosophers, astronomers, poets, and mathematicians. Their words are sleeping here, waiting in the stillness. Walk slowly down the center of the hall. The floor is polished marble, reflecting the soft amber light of the lamps. Notice the silence. It is not an empty silence, but a full one, a silence of respect and contemplation. Here, the noise of the world cannot reach you. The wars, the politics, the busy lives of people outside, none of it matters here. In this hall, time has slowed down to a crawl. Find a small alcove near the back of the library. There is a comfortable chair made of dark, polished wood, lined with soft linen cushions. Sit down. Feel the weight of your body sink into the chair. Your legs feel heavy and relaxed. Your arms rest gently on the smooth wood. In front of you is a low table with a single unrolled scroll. The ink is dark and steady. The Greek letters are elegant and repetitive. You don't need to read them. You only need to appreciate the rhythm of the lines. Each stroke of the reed pen was a moment of focus, a moment of calm. As you look at the scroll, your breathing begins to match the rhythm of the ancient writing. In and out, slow and steady. In the distance, you can hear the faint sound of a librarian's sandals echoing softly on the marble. Tap, tap, tap. It is a distant, comforting sound that tells you that you are not alone, yet you are perfectly undisturbed. The light from the oil lamp on your table flickers slightly, creating dancing shadows on the walls of scrolls. The flame is small, warm, and constant. You lean back and close your eyes within this dream. You can feel the vastness of the library surrounding you like a protective cocoon. Miles of scrolls, millions of words, all resting in the dark, cool silence. The knowledge of the stars, the history of the stars, the maps of the great oceans, they are all here, keeping watch over your sleep. Think of the papyrus itself, harvested from the banks of the Nile, pressed and dried under the Egyptian sun. It is a material of the earth, natural and quiet. Feel the texture of it in your mind, slightly rough, yet flexible. Imagine the thousands of hands that have touched these scrolls, each person seeking the same peace and understanding that you feel right now. The air in the library is perfectly still. There are no drafts, no sudden movements, just the steady, low hum of existence. You are part of this history now. You are a guest in the house of wisdom, and the house is welcoming you to rest. You rise slowly from your comfortable chair, feeling a sense of weightless calm. Your movements are slow, as if you are moving through a dream. You decide to wander deeper into the library, towards the north wing, where the air feels even cooler and the silence even more profound. This is the Hall of the Heavens, the place where the ancient astronomers kept their records of the stars and the maps of the infinite sky. As you walk, the high marble walls on either side of you are lined with shelves of dark Lebanese cedar. The scent of the wood is rich and grounding, a deep, earthy perfume that has lingered here for centuries. Every few paces, a bronze lamp stands on a pedestal, its flame burning steady and low. The light casts long, soft shadows that seem to dance slowly across the floor, moving in time with your rhythmic breathing. You enter a vast circular room. In the center stands a magnificent armillary sphere made of polished brass and silver. It is a model of the universe as it was understood then, a series of interlocking rings representing the path of the sun, the moon, and the planets. You reach out and touch the outer ring. The metal is cool beneath your fingertips, smooth and solid. It has been polished by the hands of countless scholars, people who stood in this very spot, looking up at the same stars you see tonight. High above, the ceiling of this room is a dome painted a deep midnight blue. It is decorated with flakes of gold leaf that represent the constellations. Orion, the Great Bear, and the shimmering path of the Milky Way. Even in the dim light, the gold glimmers softly, creating a sky that never clouds and a night that never ends. You find yourself looking up, your neck relaxing, your shoulders loosening as you get lost in the golden patterns above. Against the curved walls of the room are large tables made of heavy oak. Spread across them are maps of the stars, large sheets of thick parchment that have been weighted down at the corners with smooth river stones. You lean over one of the maps. The ink is a deep indigo, and the lines are thin and precise. You can see the hand of the scribe who drew this, the careful, steady motion of the pen. There is something incredibly peaceful about the order of the stars. They are constant. They are quiet. They have watched over the world for millions of years, and they are watching over you now. Beyond the tables, there is a set of tall, narrow doors made of dark wood and stained glass. They lead out onto a private balcony overlooking the city and the sea. You push the doors open, and they move with a heavy, silent grace. The night air of Alexandria greets you. It is soft, cool, and carries the faint, rhythmic sound of the Mediterranean tides hitting the shore far below. The ocean is a vast, breathing entity, exhaling tranquility into the night. From this height, the city below looks like a collection of sleeping shadows. The white limestone houses are pale under the moon, and the narrow streets are empty and still. In the distance, the great lighthouse continues its slow, rhythmic pulse of light. It is a steady heartbeat in the darkness. You lean against the stone railing of the balcony. The stone is smooth and retains a tiny bit of the day's warmth, a comforting contrast to the cool night breeze. You look up at the real sky. The stars here are bright and piercing, undimmed by the lights of the modern world. They are like tiny diamonds set into a canopy of black velvet. You watch a single star on the horizon. It doesn't flicker. It simply glows with a steady, ancient light. It has traveled across the vacuum of space for years just to reach your eyes tonight. As you watch it, your own thoughts begin to slow down. One by one, they drift away like small boats floating out to sea, until your mind is as clear and vast as the sky above you. The breeze catches the hem of your linen robes, a soft rustle that is the only sound in the stillness. It is a gentle reminder that you are here, in this moment, perfectly safe and perfectly at peace. The weight of history is not a burden here. It is a blanket, wrapping you in the safety of the past. Generations of thinkers have stood on this balcony, feeling the same breeze and watching the same stars, finding the same stillness that you are finding now. You turn back towards the interior of the library. The golden light from the hall of the heavens spills out onto the balcony, inviting you back into its warm, protected embrace. You walk back inside, leaving the vastness of the sea behind for the cozy intimacy of the scrolls. The transition from the cool night air to the warm, cedar-scented room makes your eyelids feel even heavier. You find another path, a narrow corridor that leads towards the botanical archives. Here, The scrolls are not about stars, but about the earth. The walls are decorated with faded frescoes of papyrus reeds, lotus flowers, and the sprawling vines of the Nile Delta. The colors are muted, soft greens, dusty terracotta, and pale ochre. They are colors that soothe the eyes and quiet the mind. As you walk, you hear the distant, rhythmic sound of a water clock. Drip, drop, drip, drop. It is the sound of time passing, but it is not a hurried sound. It is a slow, liquid measurement of the present moment. Each drop is a reminder that there is no rush. There is nowhere else you need to be. There is nothing else you need to do. You are simply here, drifting through the corridors of the world's most beautiful dream. You stop by a shelf filled with scrolls about the healing properties of herbs. You imagine the smell of dried chamomile, the scent of crushed mint, and the earthy aroma of valerian root. These are the scents of sleep and restoration. You can almost feel the herbal tea warming your throat, relaxing the muscles in your jaw, smoothing the lines on your forehead. The further you walk, the more the library feels like a living, breathing thing. The walls are thick, shielding you from any noise or distraction. The floor beneath your feet is solid and unchanging. You are in the heart of the world, in a sanctuary of silence. Every scroll around you is a silent companion, a witness to the beauty of a quiet life. You continue your walk, your steps becoming slower and slower as the library whispers its ancient secrets of rest and renewal to your soul. You leave the botanical archives behind, moving through a low stone archway that leads you into the heart of the library's inner courtyard. As you step outside, the air changes. It is no longer filled with the scent of dry papyrus and cedar. Instead, it is fresh, cool, and alive with the fragrance of a midnight garden. The courtyard is a secret sanctuary, a square of nature enclosed by the towering walls of the library, open only to the moon and the stars above. In the very center of the courtyard, there is a circular fountain made of dark volcanic basalt. The water does not spray high into the air. Instead, it bubbles up gently from a central stone and flows over the smooth edges into a deep pool below. The sound is a constant, shimmering murmur. Splash, ripple, flow. It is a liquid tapestry of sound that wraps around your senses, washing away any lingering thoughts of the world outside. You walk toward the fountain, your feet moving silently over a carpet of thick, damp moss. The moss is soft and cool, yielding beneath your weight with every step. Around the perimeter of the courtyard, there are rows of pomegranate and fig trees. Their leaves are dark and glossy in the moonlight, silvered by the glow from above. Occasionally, a gentle breeze rustles through the branches, a soft, whispering sound like the turning of 1,000 silk pages. You sit on the edge of the basalt fountain. The stone is cold, but it feels refreshing against your skin. You reach out and dip your hand into the water. It is crystal clear and surprisingly cold, originating from an ancient underground spring. You watch the ripples move outward from your fingers, shimmering in the moonlight until they reach the edge of the pool and vanish. Everything here is circular. Everything is returning to where it began. The water flows, the moon cycles, and your breath follows the same eternal rhythm. Close your eyes for a moment and listen to the fountain. Let the sound of the water become the only thing in your universe. It is a cleansing sound. It carries away the heat of the day, the noise of the city, and the weight of your responsibilities. With every ripple, you feel a layer of tension leave your body. Your shoulders sink deeper. Your hands rest loosely on your lap. The rhythm of the water is the rhythm of your heart, slow and steady and calm. After a long time, you stand and walk toward the far side of the courtyard, where a set of heavy, iron-bound doors stands slightly ajar. These doors lead to the scriptorium, the room where the scrolls are copied, repaired, and brought to life. You enter quietly, respecting the profound stillness of the room. The scriptorium is a long, narrow hall filled with rows of high wooden slanted desks. During the day, this room would be filled with the scratching of reed pens and the quiet murmurs of scholars. But now, in the middle of the night, it is a hall of ghosts and shadows. The only light comes from a few hanging bronze lamps, their oil burning low and casting a warm, golden glow over the workstations. You walk past the desks, noticing the tools of the craft. There are small stone bowls filled with black ink made from soot and gum arabic. There are bundles of sharpened reeds, their tips stained dark from years of use. There are smooth pumice stones used for smoothing the surface of the parchment, and small bronze knives for trimming the edges. Everything is in its place. Everything is waiting for the morning, but for now, it rests. On one of the desks, a large scroll is half finished. You look at the calligraphy. It is a work of art. Each letter is perfectly formed, a testament to a life spent in patient, quiet labor. You imagine the scribe sitting here hour after hour, his mind focused entirely on the movement of the pen. There is no past in this room, and there is no future. There is only the present moment, the stroke of the pen, and the drying of the ink. You find a soft, high-backed chair in the corner of the scriptorium, draped in a heavy sheepskin rug. You sit down, feeling the incredible softness of the wool against your back. From here, you can see the entire length of the hall. The rows of desks look like silent sentinels, guarding the knowledge of the ages. The air here smells of iron, ink, and the subtle sweet scent of the beeswax used to seal the scrolls. The shadows on the walls seem to move very slowly, pulsating with the flickering of the lamps. It is as if the room itself is breathing. You feel a deep sense of belonging in this place. The scriptorium is a place of creation, but tonight it is a place of deep, undisturbed rest. The pens are silent. The ink is still. The scrolls are rolled and tucked away in their cubbyholes. You lean your head back against the sheepskin. The warmth of the room is like a physical weight pressing gently against your chest and limbs. You feel as though you are sinking into the chair, becoming part of the quiet history of the room. The sound of the fountain from the courtyard reaches you here, but it is muffled now, a distant, watery hum that only adds to your sense of peace. Think of the ink drying on the parchment. It happens slowly, molecule by molecule, until the words are fixed forever. Your own mind is like that drying ink, slowing down, becoming still, settling into a permanent state of tranquility. The world outside Alexandria, the world beyond the library walls, is a fading memory. The only reality is the golden light, the scent of cedar and ink, and the absolute, unwavering silence of the night. You are safe in the heart of the Great Library. You are protected by walls that have stood for centuries and by the wisdom of 1,000,000 scrolls. The night is long, the air is still, and there is nothing left for you to do but drift deeper into the shadows of this ancient hall. Sleep is coming to you now, as natural and inevitable as the rising of the Nile or the turning of the stars. It is a heavy, golden sleep, and it is waiting for you to embrace it. You slowly rise from the sheepskin chair in the scriptorium, your movements feeling fluid and effortless, as if the stillness of the library has seeped into your very bones. You leave the warm, ink-scented hall and enter a long, high-ceilinged corridor known as the Peripatos, the Philosopher's Walk. This is a place designed for slow, contemplative walking, where the greatest minds of the ancient world once paced while debating the mysteries of existence. The corridor is lined on one side by a row of massive white marble columns. Between each column, the space is open to the night air, revealing a view of the library's sprawling gardens. On the other side of the walkway, recessed into the thick stone walls, are life-sized statues of the great thinkers. In the moonlight, the white marble of the statues glows with a ghostly silver light. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, they stand in silent repose, their stone eyes gazing into the distance, their carved robes frozen in mid-motion. As you walk down the Peripatos, your footsteps create a faint, rhythmic echo. Click, click, click. The sound is lonely but comforting, a steady heartbeat in the vast silence. The air here is cooler than in the halls of scrolls. It carries the damp, green scent of the papyrus reeds growing in the nearby marshes and the sharp, clean smell of the Mediterranean night. You feel the breeze brush against your face, a gentle, invisible hand smoothing away the last traces of wakefulness. The scale of the library feels even more immense here. The corridor seems to stretch on forever, a path of silver and shadow. You are not in a hurry to reach the end. Each step is a meditation. Each breath is a release. You look at the statues as you pass them, feeling a sense of profound companionship. They are the guardians of thought, but tonight they are guardians of your peace. Their silence is infectious, a heavy, velvet blanket that settles over your mind. Halfway down the walkway, you find a small, semicircular stone bench carved directly into the wall. It is positioned perfectly to catch the light of the moon. You sit down, the cool marble firm and steady beneath you. From here, you look out over the gardens. Below you, rows of silver-leafed olive trees sway almost imperceptibly in the wind. Their leaves shimmer like tiny coins, turning from green to silver as they catch the light. Beyond the trees, you see the dark, shimmering expanse of the royal harbor. The water is so still, it looks like a sheet of dark glass. A few small fishing boats are anchored near the shore, their masts swaying gently like the pendulums of slow-moving clocks. There are no lights on the boats, no signs of life. The world has finished its work for the day. The city of Alexandria is dreaming, and you are dreaming with it. You notice a small bronze incense burner standing on a nearby pedestal. A thin, curling ribbon of smoke rises from it, winding its way up toward the stars. The scent is frankincense, resinous, ancient, and deeply relaxing. You watch the smoke move. It has no shape, no weight, no destination. It simply drifts, dissipating into the cool night air. Your thoughts are like that smoke, rising slowly, twisting in the air, and then vanishing into the vast, quiet sky. You lean your head back against the cool stone wall. Above you, the stars are so bright they seem to pulse. You find yourself focusing on the space between the stars, the deep, infinite blackness that holds everything together. It is a peaceful void, a place where there is no noise, no light, and no time. You feel yourself being drawn into that stillness. The weight of your body seems to lessen, as if you are floating in that dark, starlit sea. The rhythm of the library continues around you. The distant murmur of the sea, the rustle of the olive leaves, the faint metallic scent of the incense burner. These sounds are not distractions. They are layers of a lullaby, each one deeper and softer than the last. You are a part of this ancient landscape. You are a part of the stone, the moon, and the silent statues. After a long time, you stand up, your limbs feeling heavy and loose. You continue your walk down the parapetos until you reach a set of narrow, winding stairs made of dark, polished basalt. The stairs lead upward, toward the private reading chambers in the highest towers of the library. You climb slowly, counting each step. 1, 2, 3. The circular motion of the stairs is hypnotic, a spiral into the heart of a deeper quiet. At the top of the stairs, you find a small, circular room. This is the Chamber of Maps. The walls are covered not with scrolls, but with vast sheets of vellum and silk, pinned to the stone with bronze tacks. These are maps of the known world, from the misty islands of the north to the sun-drenched plains of the south. But tonight, they are not tools for travel. They are images of a world at rest. In the center of the room is a low, wide bed covered in layers of soft Egyptian cotton and thick wool blankets. The bed is surrounded by a canopy of sheer indigo silk that hangs from the ceiling like a captured piece of the night sky. You move toward the bed, the soft rugs beneath your feet muffling every sound. The room is dim, lit only by a single, tiny oil lamp that sits in a niche in the wall. You sit on the edge of the bed. The mattress is firm but yielding, filled with soft, dried grasses and lavender flowers. As you settle into it, the scent of lavender rises up to meet you, a clean, floral aroma that signals the brain to let go, to descend, to sleep. You lie back, and the silk canopy above you ripples slightly in the draft, looking like the surface of a calm, dark pond. You are at the highest point of the Great Library. Below you are millions of scrolls, thousands of years of history, and the silent, sleeping city. Above you are the infinite stars. You are cradled between the wisdom of the earth and the silence of the heavens. Your breathing is now so slow that you can barely feel it. Each exhale is a surrender. Each inhale is a drift. The tiny flame of the oil lamp begins to flicker, its fuel nearly spent. You watch the shadow of the flame dance on the indigo silk. The movements are slow, rhythmic, and mesmerizing. Smaller and smaller the flame becomes, until it is just a tiny golden dot in the darkness. And then, with a final soft pulse, the light goes out. The room is now filled with the perfect silver light of the moon. You are safe. You are warm. You are surrounded by the silence of the greatest sanctuary ever built. The Great Library of Alexandria has finished its story for tonight, and it is time for yours to begin in the world of dreams. Sleep now, surrounded by the echoes of the past and the stillness of the stars. Sleep, deep, ancient sleep. You stand at the threshold of the Chamber of Maps, but instead of settling into the bed, you notice a small, inconspicuous wooden door tucked behind a heavy tapestry of woven silk. Your curiosity is not a restless one, but a calm, drifting desire to see more of this sanctuary. You press your hand against the door. It is made of ancient olive wood, cool and incredibly smooth. It opens without a sound, revealing a narrow, spiraling staircase that leads not up, but down, deep into the very foundations of the library. As you begin to descend, you feel the air change. It becomes cooler, stiller, and carries a profound sense of age. The walls here are not made of polished marble, but of massive blocks of rough-hewn limestone, the very bedrock of Alexandria. There are no windows here, and the only light comes from small, rhythmic niches in the wall where pale, phosphorescent stones have been placed. They emit a soft, lunar glow that seems to pulse in time with your heartbeat. With every step downward, you feel the weight of the library above you. It is not a heavy or crushing weight, but a protective one. Thousands of tons of stone and millions of scrolls are cradled above your head, shielding you from the surface world. Down here, the silence is absolute. It is a thick, velvety silence that feels like a physical embrace. You are entering the subterranean vaults, the place where the oldest, most fragile records of humanity are kept. The stairs end in a long, vaulted corridor. The floor is covered in a thick layer of fine, white sand, which muffles the sound of your footsteps completely. You are walking in total silence, moving like a shadow through the roots of history. On either side of the corridor, there are alcoves filled with clay jars. These are the records of the ancient Sumerians and Babylonians, cuneiform tablets baked in the sun thousands of years before you were born. You stop by one of the alcoves and run your hand over the surface of a clay jar. It feels dry and earthy. You imagine the scribes of Mesopotamia pressing their reeds into wet clay, capturing the movements of the stars and the laws of their kings. Those moments are frozen here, held in the cool darkness of the earth. The energy of this place is grounding. It pulls any remaining tension from your body and sends it deep into the soil. The corridor opens into a wide, circular room known as the Vault of Echoes. In the center of the room, there is a shallow pool of obsidian-colored water, fed by a slow, rhythmic drip from the ceiling. Drip, pause, drip, pause. The sound is magnified by the curved walls, creating a low, musical resonance that vibrates in your chest. You stand by the pool, watching the tiny ripples expand across the dark surface until they reach the edge and disappear into the stone. The water is so still, it acts as a perfect mirror. You look down and see the reflection of the vaulted ceiling and the soft blue light of the phosphorescent stones. It feels as though you are looking into another world, a world where time does not exist, where everything is static and eternal. You feel your mind expanding to match the stillness of the pool. Your thoughts become like those ripples, slow, graceful, and eventually vanishing into nothingness. Against the walls of this vault are massive stone chests, each one sealed with lead and wax. These chests contain the secret teachings of the ancient mystery schools, knowledge meant only for the quietest minds. You don't need to know what is inside them. The mere presence of these secrets adds to the mystery and the peace of the room. They are the silent witnesses to the depth of human thought. You find a low stone bench near the pool, covered in a thick woven rug of goat's hair. You sit down, leaning your back against the cool limestone wall. The vibration of the dripping water seems to massage your spine, relaxing every nerve and every muscle. Down here, deep beneath the earth, you are in the ultimate sanctuary. No storm, no war, no noise can ever reach this place. You are in the heart of the mountain, in the womb of the library. You close your eyes and let the darkness of the vault fill your vision. It is a warm, soft darkness, full of possibilities and rest. You imagine the layers of history above you, the philosophers walking in the peripatos, the astronomers watching the stars, the librarians tending to their scrolls. They are all part of a great, silent machine designed to keep the world's wisdom safe while it sleeps. The air is perfectly filtered by the stone, tasting clean and ancient. You take a long, slow breath, feeling the coolness of the vault fill your lungs. As you exhale, you let go of the need to be anywhere else. You are exactly where you are meant to be, in the deepest, quietest part of the world. The rhythm of the dripping water becomes a countdown, leading you further and further away from the surface, closer and closer to the center of your own tranquility. The soft blue light of the stones seems to dim and brighten in a slow, hypnotic cycle. You watch the patterns of light on the ceiling, feeling your eyelids grow heavier with every pulse. The library is not just a building. It is a living entity, and down here, you can feel its heartbeat. It is a slow, steady, and comforting pulse that tells you it is okay to let go. It is okay to drift. It is okay to be still. You remain on the bench for a long time, suspended in the perfect darkness and the rhythmic sound of the water. The Vault of Echoes is a place of absolute transition. You are leaving the physical world behind and moving towards something much deeper. When you are ready, you will stand and continue your journey through the foundations of the library. But for now, you simply exist in the silence of the earth. You rise slowly from the stone bench in the vault of echoes, the rhythmic sound of the dripping water still echoing softly in your mind. You follow a narrow, arched passage that leads away from the dark pool, guided by a new sensation, a gentle warmth that begins to radiate from the walls. As you walk, the air begins to change again. The cool, damp scent of the limestone is replaced by something complex and intoxicating. The aroma of dried resins, pressed flowers, and rare, exotic spices. You have reached the hidden laboratory of the alchemists and healers. In the ancient world, the library was not just a place for books, but a place for the study of life itself. You push open a heavy door made of solid copper, which glides open with a low metallic hum. Inside, the room is bathed in a soft amber glow. This is a sanctuary of restoration, where the secrets of sleep and healing were distilled into oils and essences. The walls are lined from floor to ceiling with thousands of small glass vials and ceramic jars, each labeled in elegant, faded script. Some jars contain the golden dust of frankincense from the deserts of Arabia. Others hold the deep blue petals of the lotus flower from the banks of the Nile. The light in the room comes from small, controlled flames beneath copper vessels, where oils are being heated so slowly that a single drop takes an hour to form. You walk toward a long table made of polished green malachite. On its surface, various herbs have been laid out to dry on sheets of clean white linen. You see bundles of chamomile, their tiny yellow centers looking like miniature suns. You see sprigs of dried valerian root and mounds of lavender buds. You reach out and run your fingers through the lavender. The scent is released into the air, a sudden, sharp floral sweetness that immediately relaxes the muscles behind your eyes. In the center of the room, a large copper retort is working with a slow, hypnotic rhythm. Glug, hiss, glug, hiss. It is distilling the essence of calm, a legendary oil used by the high priests to induce a dreamless, restorative sleep. You watch a single bead of the oil as it clings to the glass tube, trembling with weight, before it finally falls into a crystal basin below. The sound of the drop hitting the liquid is like a tiny silver bell. There is a low, reclining couch in the corner of the laboratory, upholstered in velvet the color of a forest at twilight. You lie down, and the velvet feels cool and soft against your skin. From this position, you can watch the dance of the amber shadows on the ceiling. The room is a masterpiece of balance and order. Every jar is in its place, every flame is steady, every scent is perfectly balanced. One of the healers, moving with the silence of a shadow, places a small brazier near your couch. They drop a single piece of sandalwood onto the embers. A thin, straight line of smoke rises toward the ceiling, carrying a woody, grounding aroma that seems to anchor your soul to the earth. You feel a wave of warmth spread from your chest to your fingertips, and then down to your toes. It is as if the very air in this room is a medicine, healing the weariness of your spirit with every breath you take. You think about the wisdom contained in this room, the knowledge of how plants, minerals, and fire can work together to bring peace to the human mind.
The alchemists believed that sleep was a form of gold, a precious state where the lead of daily worry was transformed into the light of new life. As you lie there, you feel that transformation happening within you. Your heavy thoughts are being distilled, filtered, and cleared away, leaving only a sense of pure, untroubled existence. The rhythmic bubbling of the copper vessels becomes a heartbeat for the room. It is a slow, steady pulse that encourages your own heart to slow down. You find yourself focusing on the low, blue flame beneath the nearest retort. It is perfectly still, a tiny point of constant light in the amber gloom. Your gaze lingers on the flame until your vision begins to soften and the edges of the room begin to blur. The scent of the sandalwood and the lavender swirls around you, creating a protective cocoon. In this room, there is no pain, no stress, and no passage of time. There is only the chemistry of peace. You feel as though you are becoming lighter, as if you are being transformed into one of the aromatic vapors rising from the copper jars, drifting upward, free from the pull of the earth. You take a deep, slow breath, tasting the sweetness of the herbs on your tongue. With the exhale, you feel a profound sense of surrender. The laboratory is a place of work, but tonight, its only work is to care for you. The flames will continue to burn low, the oils will continue to drop, and the scents will continue to guard your rest. You stay on the velvet couch, suspended in the warm, golden atmosphere of the healing rooms. The laboratory is a secret heart within the library, a place where the body is honored as much as the mind. As you drift further into the scent of the sandalwood, you realize that you have reached a place where words are no longer necessary. The wisdom of the herbs is enough. The silence of the alchemists is enough. The warmth of the amber light is more than enough. You leave the warm, aromatic glow of the alchemist's laboratory, your body feeling loose and your mind pleasantly clouded by the scent of sandalwood. You find a heavy iron ring set into a stone slab in the floor. With a slow, silent pull, the slab moves, revealing a flight of stairs carved into the living rock. This path leads to the very lowest level of the Great Library, the Hall of Resonant Waters. As you descend, the air undergoes a final transformation. It is no longer warm or scented. It is perfectly neutral, cool, and incredibly fresh. It carries the clean, damp smell of deep earth and filtered water. This is the Great Cistern System, a hidden world of limestone arches and dark, still reservoirs that provide the library with its lifeblood. The stairs open into a space so vast that the ceiling is lost in absolute shadow. Row after row of massive square pillars rise from the water, disappearing into the darkness above like the trunks of stone trees. The water is as dark as obsidian and so still that it reflects the faint light of your presence like a flawless black mirror. Here, the silence is shaped by the architecture of the stone. It is a hollow, echoing silence that seems to expand the space within your own mind. You walk along a narrow stone walkway that skims the surface of the reservoir. Every few seconds, a single drop of condensation falls from a stalactite high above. Plink. The sound is crystal clear, echoing through the vast chamber with a melodic silver resonance. You stop to listen, waiting for the next drop. Plink. The ripples move outward in perfect concentric circles, traveling across the dark water for what feels like miles before they gently touch the distant pillars. The rhythm of the water is the most ancient clock in the world. It doesn't measure minutes or hours. It measures the slow, steady heartbeat of the earth itself. You find a wide, flat ledge of smooth limestone near the water's edge. It has been worn down by centuries of moisture until it is as soft to the touch as polished silk. You lie down on the cool stone, resting your head on your folded arms. The coolness of the stone seeped through your robes, calming your skin and drawing the last remnants of restlessness from your muscles. You feel grounded, as if you are part of the very foundation of the library. You are beneath the scrolls, beneath the philosophers, beneath the stars. You are in the quietest place on earth. Close your eyes and let the acoustic space of the hall wrap around you. The echoes of the water drops are like tiny bells, clearing away any clutter in your thoughts. Each plink is a signal for your mind to let go of one more memory, one more worry, one more word. You are becoming as still and as deep as the water beside you. Imagine the water beneath the walkway. It has traveled through miles of sand and rock, filtered by the earth until it is perfectly pure. It is heavy with the silence of the underground. You feel as though you are floating on the surface of this dark, cool liquid. It supports you completely. It carries no weight, no tension, and no heat. You are drifting in a world of silver echoes and limestone shadows. The air in the hall of resonant waters is incredibly still. There is no wind here, not even the softest breeze. The only movement is the slow, inevitable fall of the water drops and the gentle expansion of the ripples. You find yourself synchronizing your breath with the rhythm of the cavern. In, wait for the drop. Out, watch the ripple. This is the place of the great forgetting. In ancient myths, there was a river that allowed the soul to shed its burdens before entering the world of dreams. Tonight, this cistern is your river. The dark water absorbs your name, your history, and your plans. It takes them into its depths, where they settle like fine silt on the bottom, leaving your mind clear, transparent, and light. You feel a profound sense of safety here. The millions of tons of stone above you are not a weight, but a shield. The entire world could be in turmoil, and you would never know it. Here, there is only the stone, the water, and the silence. The pillars stand like ancient sentries guarding your rest. The arches hold up the world so that you don't have to. Your limbs are now so heavy that they feel like they are becoming one with the limestone ledge. The distinction between your body and the stone is fading. You are the hall. You are the water. You are the echo. The silver sound of the water drops begins to fade, becoming softer and more distant, like a lullaby heard from another room. The darkness behind your eyelids is as deep and as peaceful as the obsidian reservoir. You are ready now to move toward the final gates of sleep. The hall of resonant waters has washed you clean. It has cooled your spirit and stilled your heart. You remain in the embrace of the deep earth, listening to the final fading echoes of the water as you prepare to cross the threshold into the deepest part of the night. You leave the cool, echoing darkness of the hall of resonant waters, feeling as though the weight of the world has been washed away by the rhythmic dripping of the cisterns. You find a small, hidden door made of silver-gray driftwood, almost invisible against the limestone walls. It leads to a narrow, ascending passage lined with soft, glowing moss. You are moving upward now, not to the busy halls of the surface, but to a place suspended between the earth and the sky, the sanctum of the silent scrolls. This room is the most guarded secret of the library. It is a long, high gallery where the air is so still it feels like a physical presence. Unlike the great hall below, there are no wooden shelves here. Instead, thousands of scrolls are stored in niches carved into walls of translucent white alabaster. The floor is covered in thick, ivory-colored wool rugs that swallow the sound of your movements entirely. You are walking on a cloud, moving through a forest of unspoken thoughts. The scrolls in this room are not made of papyrus or parchment. They are made of the finest bleached white silk. They contain no ink, no letters, and no history. These are the silent scrolls, vessels for the thoughts that have no words, for the dreams that have not yet been dreamt, and for the peace that requires no explanation. The healers of the ancient world believed that by surrounding oneself with these empty pages, the mind could finally find its own blank slate. You walk to the center of the gallery, where a single, oversized scroll is suspended from the ceiling by threads of spun silver. It hangs motionless, a long ribbon of white silk that reaches almost to the floor. You reach out and touch the fabric. It is unimaginably soft, cooler than the air, and smoother than water. As your fingers glide over the silk, you feel a sense of absolute lightness. The texture is a lullaby for your sense of touch. The light in the sanctum is ethereal. It does not come from lamps or fire, but from the moonlight filtering through the alabaster walls. The entire room glows with a soft, milky radiance, as if you are standing inside a giant pearl. There are no shadows here, only varying shades of white and silver. This lack of contrast soothes your eyes, allowing your vision to drift and soften. Everything is blurred, gentle, and quiet. You find a low, wide dais covered in silk cushions the color of mist. You lie back, sinking into the layers of fabric. Above you, the rows of white scrolls look like a sky of frozen clouds. You imagine that each of these scrolls is a thought you no longer need to hold on to. One scroll is for your worries about tomorrow. Another is for the regrets of yesterday. Another is for the noise of the day you have just left behind. One by one, You imagine these thoughts leaving your mind and drifting into the silent silk. They are absorbed by the soft fabric, neutralized by the whiteness, and hushed by the stillness of the room. Your mind is becoming like the sanctum itself, vast, white, and perfectly empty. There is a profound relief in this emptiness. It is not a void, it is a space for rest. It is a room where nothing is expected of you. The air in the sanctum carries a very faint, almost imperceptible scent of dried lilies and snow. It is a clean, cold fragrance that opens your senses while calming your heart. You take a slow, deep breath, feeling the purity of the air move through you. With every exhale, you feel your body becoming less solid, more like the silk ribbons surrounding you. You are weightless. You are drifting. You are unburdened. Listen to the silence of the silk. It is different from the silence of the stone or the silence of the water. It is a soft, muffled silence, like the world outside during a heavy snowfall. It wraps around your ears, protecting you from the echoes of your own pulse. You are deep within the heart of the library's most private dream. The moonlight through the alabaster seems to pulse very slowly, a long, rhythmic glow that lasts for minutes at a time. You watch the light move across the white rugs, a slow tide of silver that marks the passage of a night where time has no meaning. You are no longer waiting for anything. You are no longer moving toward anything. You are simply here, in the white stillness, becoming one with the silence of the scrolls. Your breathing is now so quiet that you can no longer hear it. Your heart is beating with the slow, steady rhythm of the moon. The silk cushions beneath you seem to lift you up, cradling you in a state of perfect suspension. You are ready to let go of the last threads of the waking world. The sanctum of the silent scrolls has prepared a place for you to vanish into the white peace of sleep. Stay here for as long as you need, surrounded by the unspoken wisdom of the silk. The room is a shield, the light is a balm, and the scrolls are your guardians. You are safe. You are still. You are silent. The deepest parts of the library are calling you home, and you are answering with the perfect quiet of your soul. You rise from the silk cushions of the sanctum, feeling as though you are made of moonlight itself. Your body is light, your mind is clear, and your spirit is perfectly still. You find a final narrow staircase made of translucent crystal, winding its way upward through the very roof of the library. This is the path to the Celestial Observatory, the highest point in all of Alexandria, a place where the earth ends and the heavens begin. As you reach the top, you step out onto a wide circular platform open to the infinite sky. There are no walls here, only a low balustrade of dark polished basalt. The air is cold, crisp, and incredibly pure, carrying the sharp, invigorating scent of the deep Mediterranean and the distant, dry whisper of the Saharan sands. You are standing above the clouds, above the city, and above the history of men. You are at the edge of the universe. The sky above you is not black, It is a deep, shimmering indigo, so thick with stars that it looks like a tapestry of diamonds. The Milky Way stretches across the zenith, a river of silver mist that seems to hum with a low cosmic frequency. You look up, and for the first time, you truly understand the scale of the silence. It is a silence that spans light years, a peace that has existed since the beginning of time. In the center of the observatory stands a massive golden celestial globe, etched with the figures of the constellations. It turns so slowly that you cannot see it move, but you can feel its vibration through the soles of your feet, a deep, rhythmic thrum that matches the rotation of the earth. You walk to the edge of the balcony and lean against the cool basalt. Far, far below, the great Pharos lighthouse is just a tiny, flickering spark, like a fallen star on the edge of the sea. The world you knew has become a distant memory, a small and quiet place. You find a wide stone recliner covered in layers of heavy, dark purple velvet. You lie back, and your gaze is immediately pulled upward into the heart of the constellations. You see Orion the Hunter, his belt shining with a steady blue-white light. You see the Pleiades, a cluster of shimmering jewels huddled together in the dark. You see the North Star, the fixed point around which the entire night revolves. As you watch the stars, you feel a profound sense of surrender. You are no longer an individual with a name, a job, or a history. You are a part of the celestial architecture. The atoms in your body are the same atoms that burn in the hearts of those distant suns. You are home. The vastness of the space above you is not frightening. It is a cradle. It is an infinite room where you can finally expand and disappear. The wind at this height is a constant melodic drone, a celestial Om that vibrates in your chest. It is the sound of the void, a song without words that tells you that everything is exactly as it should be. The stars do not hurry, they do not struggle, they simply glow. And as you watch them, you feel your own heart slowing down, matching the ancient, unhurried pace of the galaxy. You feel the weight of the purple velvet blankets pressing you down into the stone. It is a comforting weight, the weight of the earth pulling you close, even as your mind drifts among the planets. Your limbs are like lead, anchored to the observatory floor, but your consciousness is like light, radiating outward into the indigo dark. You are both the mountain and the sky. Imagine a single star far off in the distance, pulsating slowly. Glow, fade, glow, fade. With every pulse, you feel yourself drifting further away from the waking world. You are traveling through the dark, through the silent corridors of space, moving toward a place of absolute rest. There is no friction here. There is no gravity. There is only the glide. The cold air on your face is a reminder of your existence, but it is a gentle one. It keeps you present in this moment of transition. You are standing at the very gates of sleep, looking out over the infinity of the night. The great library beneath you is a ship, and you are its passenger, sailing through the stars on an ocean of silence. Every star you see is a guardian of your peace. Every constellation is a map leading you deeper into the dream. You are safe in the arms of the universe. You are protected by the laws of the heavens. The night is vast, the sky is deep, and you are ready to merge with the darkness. You close your eyes, but the image of the Milky Way remains burned into your mind, a river of light that you are now preparing to swim in. The vibration of the golden globe, the song of the high wind, and the scent of the cold stars all merge into a single, unified sensation of bliss. You are at the peak. You are at the end. You are at the beginning. The great golden globe in the center of the observatory continues its silent, eternal turn, but you are no longer watching it. Your eyes are closed now, and the vibrant indigo of the sky has deepened into a soft, velvety blackness behind your lids. The cold wind of the heights has softened into a gentle, rhythmic hum, a distant vibration that feels like the very breath of the universe. You are no longer a traveler. You have become the destination. The journey through the Great Library is complete. All the halls you have walked, the Hall of Scrolls, the Vault of Echoes, the Scriptorium, and the Sanctum of Silk, are now folded neatly within your mind, like the precious scrolls they protect. You carry the scent of cedar, the rhythm of the dripping water, and the warmth of the alchemist's fire within you. They are layers of peace, stacked one upon the other, shielding your soul from the waking world. Feel the weight of the dark purple velvet once more. It is no longer just a blanket. It is the earth itself, holding you, grounding you, and whispering that you are safe. You are sinking through the floor of the observatory, drifting down through the layers of history, passing through the marble and the limestone, until you are cradled in the very heart of the silence. The library is closing its great bronze doors for the night. The lamps are being dimmed one by one. The librarians have gone home. The scrolls are resting in their pigeonholes, their ancient wisdom silent and still. The city of Alexandria is a ghost of light on the edge of a sleeping sea. Everything is returning to the stillness from which it came. Your breath is a slow, shallow tide, in and out. There is no effort. There is no thought. There is only the sensation of being held in a vast, dark, and loving space. You are a single drop of water in the great cistern, perfectly still. You are a single star in the infinite sky, glowing with a soft, fading light. The world of words has ended. The world of dreams is beginning. Think of the word sleep. See it written in golden ink on a dark papyrus scroll. Watch as the ink slowly fades, the letters dissolving into the darkness until the page is blank and beautiful. Your mind is that blank page. It is open, it is quiet, and it is ready. You are drifting now beyond the reach of time. The Great Library is a fortress of shadows protecting your rest. No sound can wake you. No light can reach you. You are in the deepest sanctuary of the ancient world, and you are perfectly, entirely at peace. Let the darkness be your blanket. Let the silence be your song. The stars are watching over you. The earth is holding you. The library is dreaming through you. Safe, still, deep.